if you would ask me like a year ago, what are you going to do? So I'm going to change the life of people. But you're saying it and you're not feeling it. Now, like every step that we're doing, every client that we're helping, you can really feel and like real understanding like that we're really changing the life of people. And it's a process to understand how much impact you can make.
Welcome to 20-Minute Leaders. Just sit back, relax, and learn from the leaders of today. It's a journey. Each one is different, unique, inspiring. Let's get started. 20-Minute Leaders is a proud supporter of Make-A-Wish Israel and Tech to Peace, and is in proud collaboration with Secret Chord Ventures, J Ventures, Riverside FM, Fusion VC, Birthright Excel, J Impact, Leap, Google for Startups, and Hippo, and in media partnership with C-Tech. Well, let's get right into it. So tell me first a little bit about yourself and your journey leading up to the founding of SixtyFive. You know, how did this whole thing come about?
Sure. So it's actually an interesting story. I learned law. I really didn't want and still don't want to be a lawyer, never actually practice in any way. But one of the only good things above good friends from the university was that I practiced in kind of like a legal clinic, really trying to help. It was like about seniors, trying to help them in the retirement years with the understanding that their asset is their home. And actually you're sitting every week for several hours talking to seniors about their financial life, about the struggling that they're facing, mostly financially struggling. And you understand that a story that is coming over and over is the fact that lots of them, they have a house that they own, they want to continue to live in their home, and they don't have enough money to fund their kind of like monthly expenses. There is like kind of like a constant gap between their income and expenses. And like down the road, so almost like 7 years ago, I told myself, listen, Tali, you're going to change it. I didn't know yet then how and when and how we're going to make it happen. But it was like really clear to me that we need to do something there.
Mm-hmm. And so what really led to that sort of realization from an intellectual perspective, and then from an emotional perspective? Why did this catch you so concretely?
It's a great question. And to be honest, I don't have the answer. Like one of the things that I'm thinking a lot about it, that in some way, most of the entrepreneurs, I think, are trying to solve problems that they're facing on their ongoing life. They're trying to fix their life. And I don't know why retirement is sitting on me. I will tell that I'm super happy that I'm there, because I think that overall there is like a huge lack of innovation when we're thinking about seniors, about things that are not in like the regular entrepreneur mindset.
Mm-hmm. And so what was the sort of the founding journey? You've identified the problem, you've identified the pain point, that the fact that you want to...
Yeah, so it was like a bit more complicated, like every real story. It started when my partner Eyal and we decided that we want to do something together. We took an office in Tel Aviv with nothing above the fact that we're paying rent to an office and we're going to be there 20 hours a day. And we started there trying to think what we can build together. Really quickly, like Ron, my amazing partner and our CTO, joined us to this journey. And we put on the table like few problems that we can solve. And I told them, listen, this problem it's a huge problem, like home equity and retirement. It's a huge problem. It's going to be one of the most challenging journeys that we can do together, but we can really change life, real life. We can change life of people, and let's make it happen. And that's how we started. Kind of like from a funding perspective. So officially we started in May 22. We raised kind of like a pre-seed, tried to bring money only from kind of like add value investors. So like fintech entrepreneurs like Shai Winiger from Lemonade, Matan Bar from Milio, Ron from Empathy, people that are really coming with add value, or people from the retirement industry and other. And like a few months ago, we raised money also from like two micro VCs. Both of them are sitting in the Valley, and one of them also is sitting here in Israel.
Phenomenal. Okay, so walk me through, those early stages of really honing in on the problem and coming up with your home income as a solution.
So we started with the fact that in some way, everybody understand, not everybody at least, but we understand that there is lots of seniors, lots of American seniors to be more accurate, that are getting into their retirement years. They don't have enough liquid savings, the regular American savings account, 401k, IRA, they don't have enough money there. And the fact that they don't have enough money, there is like raising cost of living. And this combination, it's difficult. And on the other side, most of them live in a house that they own. Like if we're looking on the baby boomers, like the baby boomers generation, 80% of them live in a house that they own. So it's a very interesting problem. And we try to understand what are the traditional that the market can offer to those seniors today. And the most known solution today is the reverse mortgage that started like almost like a century ago. And in very short is not trying it all in some way to serve the needs of those seniors. Like they're trying to think like, let's sell money and don't talk with the client forever. And we tried it from like scratch to let's try to understand what those seniors needs, and then how we can build the financial product from scratch in a way that will serve the needs of those clients in the best way. And understanding if we will build the best product, we can win the market.
Mm-hmm. Okay, got it. So then what happens?
Then from the funding perspective?
Well, from building the product and starting to get it to market and really validating it and seeing how you're going to solve it.
So we started with like really creating from scratch like a financial product. It's a long process that includes a lot of like legal work, because we created here like a very unique legal structure. So it was like long month and a huge amount of money to build a legal structure that we can operate under states. Building like the full financial model, technology that can support us. And of course, from like the distribution channel, also to understand how we can approach those seniors and in some way convince them that we're going to take their house in some way and they can trust us. And that was like also like a long journey to understand how we are going to distribute the product, how we're going to talk with seniors. We figure out like kind of like very quickly that we're not going to do only like a paid media, regular ads, because it's not this kind of product. And we started to work with kind of like financial professionals, so financial advisor, people from the mortgage industry, people that are trustable in some way, and understand how seniors are thinking about products. And we started to collaborate with those kind of like guys that are helping us now to promote the product in front of their clients. When like from like the journey perspective, again, we launched the product by the end of November, like exactly 2 months ago. We're operating today only in Florida, and we have now like few dozens of clients that we're actually changing their life. And we have a huge list, like more than what we expected. We have like around like 500 clients that passed like the full application process, share with us every information that we asked for, include like kind of like sensitive information like their social security. And because we are a young and fresh startup, we have like a limited capacity, so we cannot onboard them. But it is amazing to understand like how people are responding to the product that you thought about it in a small office in Tel Aviv, and now you have people all over Florida that want your product. And in some way, more interesting is why people want your product, because we had few reasons like why we think those seniors will be interested in the product. And one of the interesting things that you're actually in the market, people are coming to you with crazy ideas like how they can use your product in their life, and it's really inspiring.
I love it. So going back to sort of the origination of this and the fact that it's a little bit different from a pain that you may experience, but you're solving a pain that many others experience. How do you get into the headspace of retired individuals to even know, not even just from a financial product perspective, but from a communication and from a delivery perspective? How do you get into the mind of these retirees?
So, a great question. And I will say that it's not like a silver bullet. It's not like you made something and it's all set up. It's a journey. And we're doing like, we started, of course, with talking with clients about their life, about what they're looking for, about what's the reason that they're not sleeping at night. And how, and then you can figure out like how you can help them. There's like the great book, like Ask Your Mom or something like that, like how to interview like clients. So that's like, it was interesting. Talking also to kind of like financial professional family members to understand how we can help their family, their clients, and how we can support them in their financial life. And then we are launching the product. We're showing some demos, and we can see like responses, how they're actually responding to the product. So it's like, it's a long process, and we still have lots to learn about how to make it better. And we're always working about educational materials and changing our language and adjust like things in the product to really make it in the best way that we can make it happen.
Incredible. And so let's talk a little bit about building trust in this product. When you go over your website, I think it's one of the theme that keeps popping up is the trust that you're creating. And you also mentioned before the trust that you need to create for these people to give you something that is so valuable, especially to a young startup. So how do you build, what have you found helpful in building this trust with them?
So I will take your question even like to the next stage, and I will tell you that the biggest challenge that SixtyFive is facing is the fact that we need to build here like a very trustable company, because we're talking with seniors about their houses, about retirement, about income, like the most super heavy topics in the world. That's the thing that we're discussing. And we want to make it into a digital process, super simple. Like in some way, the simplicity of the process is one of the challenging parts, because when you're thinking in the traditional world, like a process should take you 3 months, you're going to pay $5,000, you're going to do a ton of paperwork, and we're offering them the process that will take them only 20 minutes. So really building a trust here, that's like the biggest part here. And to continue my previous answer, it's a journey. It's not like you don't build the trust. It's a process of building. We're starting with the fact that, for example, we're not doing direct to consumer. We're not relying on the direct to consumer. We are working with trustable entities in some way in the senior community. We're working with financial advisors that are offering our product to their clients, and they know their clients for like a decade or 2 or 3 or more than that. So we are one of the main reasons we're working with partners, is kind of like a B2B2C distribution way, is the fact that we that's one of the ways that we are bridging on this gap trust in some way. So that's like the biggest thing that we're doing today. We are working to build a huge, and one of the interesting and unique things about seniors that they love to read, like me, you, and overall the young generation, if it's more than 2 sentences, I personally am losing it. And when we're coming to seniors, we understand that we need to offer them materials to read. And in our application process, we're giving them access to materials that explain them about the product, about how the product is served, about how legally this product is structured. We're working also with like one of the most recognized financial planners in the state. Her name is Margarita Chan. She's like the top 10 financial planners in the States by Wikipedia in like the last like 5 or 6 years. So we are working with her closely to build our kind of like education center to those seniors. And we're learning here every day how to make it better, how to make the process better, how to approach the seniors in a better way. But it is a journey.
Yeah. No, I'm sure. Tell me a little bit about the vision. So growing from here over the next couple of years, what are you looking for in 65? What's going to happen?
So 65 is a retirement income company. And one of the things that we understand that when you're getting to retirement, you have lots of assets. You have liquid assets like your 401k and Social Security and IRA and whatever what you have, and you have more locked on, and it's a huge market. But overall, you're getting in retirement, and it's hard to get income in retirement even if you have the money. And our big vision, and we will make it happen in a few years from now, is to take all of your savings and to connect it into the 65 card. And like so the 65 card should facilitate, like it's like a one-stop shop in some way for your income in retirement years. We are starting with home equity because home equity is the overall biggest single asset and the most locked one. So in the home equity, it's like that's the biggest pain point. But it's a pain point in a broader way, and that's what we want to change. Like my vision is that I will take you in 2 years from now to any Walmart shop in the States, and every second American senior will buy his groceries with a 65 card. Because it's a better way to retire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that stepping back to the initial conversation we had right at the beginning of sort of the why, I think it ties nicely to the vision you just articulated, and I also want to finish on the why. And so if we're looking today as to why you're waking up every day and this is what you're doing. Has your why evolved at all from when you first started out the company? Have you discovered some things that changed your why, or now that you have 10 people on your team, why every day do you go on this journey again?
So the why is the same, but in some way you understand the why better like every day. Like if you would ask me like a year ago, what are you going to do? So I'm going to change the life of people. But you're saying it and you're not feeling it. Now, like every step that we're doing, every client that we're helping, you can really feel and like real understanding like that we're really changing the life of people. And it's a process to understand how much impact you can make. And that's like the why. It's just the why is just getting deeper in some way. Doesn't change.
I love it. I think that's just really, really cool. And Tali, I really want to thank you for coming here and for sharing with me your journey and that of 65. And I'm wishing you best of luck and wishing you to make a whole lot of impact on a lot of retirees. And I think that the whole trust component here from a product perspective is fascinating. And so I'm looking forward to following from the side and learning. So thank you very, very much and best of luck with 65.
Thank you. It was a great pleasure to talk with you and we'll be in touch.
Thank you.